The Pinball Network is online. Launching.
Triple Drain Pinball Podcast.
All right. Tom, you are looking great, man. You are looking good in
Can't
those
see a thing.
those
No,
sunglasses.
just kidding.
Those are pin shades, yeah?
They are pin shades, yes.
Oh, you've never looked cooler. Never looked cooler. All right. You ready? You ready for this?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Travis, you ready? Oh, he's great for the audio listeners. He's lifting up his drink for. I'm taking that as a yes.
Oh yes, I'm ready. Sorry, Joel.
Please, Lord, let this button work.
We're three guys who like to talk pinball, so we came up with a clever name. We're Joel and Travis Tom who talk pinball, and we call ourselves Triple Drain, Triple Drain, Triple Drain. We're Triple Drain.
It worked.
Joel, you did fantastic this week. A lot of
Triple
people
Drain.
I just want to put this out here. And Tom, you know what I'm talking about here. A lot of people email us and they're just like, Joel is obviously the weakest link to your trio.
Yeah.
And we always try to defend him. And sometimes he pulls shit like last episode where it's very hard to do it. But you know what? You came through with flying colors this week. You're doing great. The first 2 minutes are fantastic right now, this podcast.
Yeah, we try, with the three of us, we're clearly trying to get, it's like an average demographic between the three of us is what we're shooting for. We're trying to represent all of pinball. So, you guys are like professional and talented and have, actual pinball skills. And I'm not. So we average out and boom, that way we can reach the masses. Is that the goal?
Like we're trying to get partner on the TPN network.
That's right. Yeah. We're going to talk. We can talk more about that. But yes, Tom is actually with his channel, Fox Cities is actually working very hard to get partnered on Twitch. So we're going to talk more about that at the end with plugs. But yeah, help a brother out. Just definitely watch Tom's streams when he's streaming, and I think we're close, man. I think we're close. You flexing? Is that what we're doing?
right now? If you're listening to this, go to Twitch right now and follow Fox Cities Pinball.
Yes.
Like right now, while you're still listening to us, of course.
Yeah.
And don't click off our
Turn
YouTube video
off
either.
This episode.
No, Tom Graf.
What I think's funny is I stream weekly with Flipping Out. Tom, you stream at least once a week with Fox Cities. Neither of us are partnered in Twitch, but yet somehow Travis is actually partnered on Twitch from a past life, when you're back in Call of Duty days and not streaming pinball.
Actually, a lot of it's funny. I've gotten questions about that in the past when people see me on the pinball streams and they see the check mark.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's not from pinball. Yeah, in a former life, I was a Call of Duty streamer.
Neil and I were talking about that recently, and he's like, "No, Travis was a big deal." Like he was, I'm like, but I'm a big deal. And he's like, no, Travis had like 500 viewers all the time. And
it was wild.
Known. I'm like, okay.
It was wild. Yeah, I used to rub shoulders with like Tim the Tap Man and all that at the Twitch cons, and now I do this. Now I'm with a lot more famous people like Joel. I
know, right? Yeah. Jeez, OP. Yeah, are you were you sponsored by Mountain Dew and sweatpants? I don't know. I mean, you and all your bros. Yeah.
It was. Shit, it was like 8 years ago, I think. Now at this point, 8 or 9 years ago, I remember there was actually a sunglass company that sponsored like gamers. No, it wasn't Pin Shades. It's called like Gunner Optics or something like that. They went through to everybody. And then there was G Fuel. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I remember Ray kind of dipped into that world also. But so G Fuel was a big deal. And then there was like a certain type of controller too, like a scuff controller. That was another thing too. So it was a lot of fun. I just played Call of Duty, sat on my butt, talked to people.
I was always the guy playing against you that killed himself with a grenade. That was me.
Well, here's the funny part, Tom. I was very mediocre at the game. It wasn't because I was just like great. It was just because I could not shut up while I played, and I just talked to the chat all the time. What's that?
It's because you're in a hot tub.
Yes.
While you,
I was the one. I was the genesis of the hot tub meta.
Yeah.
On
No,
Twitch.
I would love to. I do you have any of your videos? I don't. Never mind. You probably don't want the listeners
No,
looking back. But I would be
what's funny
curious.
is, yeah, there actually is. So I used to have a YouTube channel that had a couple thousand subscribers at the time. And yeah, I had tons of YouTube videos out, but they're not around anymore that I know of. But I might be able to find one. There was actually one that ended up getting like 30 or 40,000 views. And it was simply because my son Carter at the time, he was like maybe 4 years old. And I made the mistake of going ahead and letting him get on the stream while I went downstairs to go get something real quick, just to like hang out and have fun. And he's playing against bots. And every single time he got killed, he would just sit there and he would just go, "Oh shit." Like he would just do that. And that happened for like 30 seconds before I rushed back up to stop him. So yeah, that video went like mini viral. So yeah, that's his claim to fame.
Well, if you find that, let us know. We'll post it on our Facebook page.
Okay, will do.
Anyways, yes, people come here for clearly the pinball talk, but no, I do think that's funny. But between the three of us, the two of us that actually stream on a weekly basis, neither of us are partnered, and the one guy who doesn't stream anymore somehow is, which is comical. But
you get partners for life. That's just the way it is.
Lucky you.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
It is a grind. There's no
very
denying
grindy.
that. Yeah.
Tom can do it though. We're gonna push his ass over the hump. He'll get there.
Well, yeah, we will definitely talk more about that towards the end. But really, the reason we decided to record, we're recording on a Monday night. This is like the first Monday that I think we've ever recorded together, which is really cool. But I know I have some work travel coming up over the next 2 weeks. They actually, both Travis and Tom, have some big events that they're traveling for that we're going to talk about. But we decided to record because there was some pretty crazy news that was dropped yesterday. And we're going to talk about that. So, Joe Kamenkow, he is, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe him. Basically he has been involved, from a licensing side, with Stern for years now. Apparently he's good friends with, Gary Stern, and Joe Kamenkow, I think, is rather wealthy and has a lot of connections. And I know he was heavily involved in securing the license for Batman 66. He secured the license for Beatles. So a lot of these boutique games, Joe has been kind of the driving force to get the licensor to work with Stern. Well, what he announced on his Facebook was basically, he said, Jersey Jack Pinball has the license for Harry Potter. That's it. Like, he's basically just a very bold statement. And the reason that actually means something is because for years people have been talking about Harry Potter. What if Harry Potter? What if Harry Potter? Well, Joe Kamenkow's been saying for years, if anybody's going to get that license, it's going to be me. Like, he's been like almost boastfully saying that, like, I will get that. If somebody's going to get it, it'll be me. So everybody's reading into that. Well, if Joe gets it, that means Stern's going to make it. This is, I think it's kind of been a point of like contention of his, like, I will get that license. And apparently the other, I don't know, rumors or side story there is J.K. Rowling's the author of Harry Potter, for whatever reason, she's had it out against pinball. Like, apparently she made a comment at some point in time in the past that she doesn't want there to be a Harry Potter pinball machine. She doesn't like pinball. I don't know if it's like that association
It had
with
something to do with it, like
something.
being in bars or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So, but she's kind of gone all over the place with her licensing of Harry Potter and changing the story and all that stuff. So there was always that thing. Will there ever be a Harry Potter pinball machine? There's always been a big question mark there, because I don't know, if J.K. Rowling says no, then no is no. The other side of that is Joe's been like taking it upon himself. If somebody's going to get it, it's going to be me. So for him, a respectful or a highly respected person within pinball, within licensing, to come out on his Facebook and boldly state Jersey Jack has the license for Harry Potter. That was a big deal. that was a big deal. That post has since been removed, but that post was screenshotted and it was put on like Pinball Enthusiast. He was put on a few other things. Jason Knapp with Knapp Arcade got a hold of that. He's posted it on his. It's created quite a discussion, not only on Facebook, but also on Pinside. So And I know Zach Mini with the Pinball Show just put out like a mini episode. He mentioned a little bit of it, and then the other bit is behind the Patreon wall. But he went into the history of all that and some information there. So one Facebook comment has spurred all this. So Tom, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What came to your head when you saw that?
The first thing I thought was, man, I got to go post this on Facebook.
That was the first thing.
The second thought was, I thought it was a really odd post, like, because Joe is kind of over on that Stern brand. First of all, the picture was in a Stern cabinet, which was kind of odd.
There was a picture posted as well, and it's very clear. Like Jack Danger has done this. He's photoshopped a lot of dream themes over the years, so I'm pretty confident this was photoshopped by him years ago, and Joe just happened to pull it. But just what Joe said exactly is he said, "Hey, pinball fans, here's the scoop. Jersey Jack has secured the license for Harry Potter for pinball. No waiting, no speculation. They locked it in." That's the exact post that he posted with a picture of the Harry Potter machine. But go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
That's okay. I'm used to you interrupting me. Anyway. No, I thought it was odd, again, going back, his connections with Stern and saying JJP got the license. And to me, it's like you're talking about a competitor getting a license that hasn't been announced. So one, that's odd. Two is it's like, is this just, somebody hacked his account, and put this in there? It's possible. The other thing is, it's like, well, was this a troll? Like maybe he's actually got the license and he's kind of fibbing about it and saying JJP has the license, which again seems kind of undermining. I don't know. It was really odd to me.
Yeah.
It's an odd post.
Yeah, and to address the hacked account, he doubled down. There were a lot of people that actually posted or commented on that post, and Joe responded to those comments. So there were people who are like, I'm pretty sure this is just a drunk, angry dude who's mad he didn't get his way. And then he comments on it. Or people are like, is this a hacked account? And he commented, nope. Well, sure, if it's a hacked account, the hacker could say no. But if you actually clicked on his account, his wife was connected to it. So that means they would have to have hacked her account as well. I mean, I don't know. That could have been a thing. But he deleted the post, but yet he was responding to the screenshot of the post. It just seems odd. But Travis, I know you had an interesting take on it as well. But yeah, I mean, what was all swirling through your head?
Well, as somebody that works with a dealer that sells primarily Stern products, when I saw that, I was just like, shit, instantly, because I mean, here's the thing. That is somebody that has a lot of credibility in the industry. And the reason why I was just like, oh crap, this sucks, is because what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people that collect pinball machines that are going to read that are going to hear about that's going to spread around like wildfire, because knuckleheads like us are going to talk about it. It's going to get out there on podcasts. It's going to be on forums. It's going to go everywhere. And legitimately, I've had no less than 25 plus messages just about this from different people. So everybody's heard about it, including people back in my old stomping grounds in Oklahoma. And the reality is what's going to happen, it's going to freeze up a lot of money in the industry. People that were considering buying a pin, they're going to be sidelined now, because the fact is if they see that there's potential to be a theme that is their absolute dream theme, and let's face facts, Harry Potter is like the number one in demand theme from everybody in the pinball industry that people want to see. And so if they realize that it's possible that this is coming out and this information's coming from a credible source, and you're being told it's from Jersey Jack, who commands the highest prices basically in the industry for, what is it, like a $15,000 for a CE and $12,500 for an LE, I think is what it is. And so those are just baseline prices. And with the Harry Potter, there's no telling how much that would be. So basically just overnight, a lot of money just froze up. I guarantee you. I know that we got several calls today alone asking about it, and we don't even sell JJP products. So I don't know how it is for other dealers and what's going on. But yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, man, this is going to be a shit show. We need to buckle up because there's no telling how much money has instantly been sidelined from people that were considering buying a pin. I mean, we're just now getting Foo Fighter LEs out, right?
Yeah.
And so we're kind of waiting for that second run to come. And that was a very much in demand pin. But we have noticed that there's been a little of a trail off from people buying, which typically happens when you're entering the summer months. That's fully typical. But now that this type of information's out there, I don't know. Like, I'm very fearful that there's a lot of money that's going to sit there idle. That's just going to wait and see. And it's not like that this product is going to be coming out anytime soon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I was just thinking.
Yeah,
you
for
don't
all
know,
we know,
it could be 3, 4, or 5 years from now.
yeah, we have no idea. But the problem is it's not so much that, and I remember we were talking to somebody about this today. They'll remain nameless, but one of the things that they mentioned in the same chat that you guys were in is, well, people will probably forget this as soon as my thing goes out.
But camera goes out.
They'll instantly forget it, like when the next L1 pin comes out, right? Which is fine and all, but we're still several months out from that. So what's going to be the short term ramifications on something like this? That's my concern. What's going to be the Q2 and Q3 ramifications on it? It's going to happen. It's just the way it is. And I won't blame people for not putting their money out there. I won't blame people for sitting on the sidelines to get information. But the reality is, when people stop buying to wait for more information, that might be information that doesn't come. And those are sales that are lost that people aren't going to see until they choose to get off the sidelines and get back into the game and start buying new unboxed pins again. I mean, from a business perspective, it sucks.
So, okay. So there's a ton of different ways we can go with this. So first off, Joe Kamikow, why? The question is, first off, why did he feel the need to share this information? So
Ego. I'll just say it. I think it's ego. I mean, okay. I don't know the guy, but that if
because he knew the information.
Yeah. I mean, why else would you share that? There's no other reason, because it doesn't hurt JJP.
But the thing is, it hurts Stern, doesn't it? Don't you think it hurts? Yeah, so if Stern's always been, if Gary Stern is one of his best friends and he's always done work for Stern, why now would he post something that actually hurts Stern? Does he not care anymore because Gary's out? Is he upset about the direction of the company? Or does he not care? Is his ego bigger than his love of Stern? I don't understand. Yeah, it hurts.
Here's the funny part. So I got an answer for that, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Tom Graf. So I've heard 2 different versions of this, right? Okay. So this means that people are seeing this from different angles, and people are taking what they want to extract out of this. Some of the first messages I got was, well, he's just really pissed off at Stern, isn't he? And then the other messages I've seen, well, he's doing this to sabotage JJP, sabotage their Godfather. So it's like everybody has their own opinion of what's going on. The only opinion I can give is based off what I know in real time with what it's affecting with what I do on my day-to-day. But yeah, honestly, I don't see how this hurts JJP at all. I feel like it raises their profile. I feel like Godfather sales were going to be what they are from the beginning, just because of their pricing model. They're always going to hit that peak early on, and then it's going to just have a big time trail off. That's the way JJP games typically have gone the past few releases. So, I don't know. It just makes me think that it gets them notice immediately. It raises their profile to me.
Tom is agreeing with,
Oh yeah, Tom. Oh yeah.
It's so okay. So you said it doesn't hurt JJP.
Why would it?
Well, okay. So
like,
when
Toy Story, if people think that they have the top tier theme, why would that hurt them?
I just think I know as of right now, I know there are distributors out there, like they made all the Guns N' Roses games. They made a ton of them. So there are new unboxed Guns N' Roses sitting on the shelf. And we've gone down this road before where if a distributor has a game sitting on a shelf, he can't clearance it. He can't mark it down. There is a limit to how low it can go. So when the used market is below us MSRP, it's really hard to move new unboxed units. So there are GNRs sitting on the shelf. We know for a fact there's a lot of Toy Stories sitting on the shelf. There
Is
are
that
some.
a JJP problem or a dealer problem?
I see a. Oh well, okay. That's
The
a
games have
you
already
know
been sold
sure some
through.
dealers should probably take a little responsibility for that.
Well,
But
because JJP is a B2B business. They're not. You know what I mean? They somewhat do B2C.
so
a
they
little
sold
bit.
out, and they
Yeah,
sold
I
theirs,
mean,
and it's the distro
what-
that's stuck with them.
Right. So what? Like,
But
that's why I don't think it hurts them at all.
I'm just saying when I look at Stern, they have a lot of games in their catalog that are in demand. That if there's waiting lists, there are people waiting on them. They want them. If somebody posts like, "Hey, I just got a few of these," they're gone. They never get put on a shelf. They got a lot of those games. Sure, they have a few that probably sell way better than others. But I'm seeing if I look at JJP, who's released a game, it was like every 2 years, and then now they're looking at every year, and then the shortest turnaround has been between Toy Story and Godfather. You got all these distros that have GNR on the shelf. They got a bunch of Toy Story on the shelf. They're now getting Godfather LEs on the shelf. The CEs haven't even shipped yet. Apparently that keeps getting pushed back. And now all of a sudden you're going to throw out another amazing theme. Like I don't, as a distributor, I'd almost be worried because I'd be like, well, what's it going to be? Is it going to be all the Harry Potters? Is it going to be Harry Potter 1? Or are you going to pick the last Harry Potter? Are you going to pick some random, there's a new Harry Potter HBO Max series coming out. Is this going to be based on that? Like, are we, because the Harry Potter franchise is going to want to push their latest and greatest thing, like Disney pushed the Toy Story 4 instead of the original Toy Story? Did they get the license and it's going to be another 8 years before they actually get around to building it? I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of questions, but I know there were people that were holding on to money, waiting for Toy Story, really waiting for Toy Story, and held on to it for a long time. And then the moment it was announced, they were like, Toy Story 4, never mind. And then they went to Stern and bought something. I mean, sure, any game could be a dud. Any game could be a dud from any manufacturer. But I don't know. I could see how it could potentially help JJP if there are people holding on money that's not going to go somewhere else. But there's so much question here that people are going to get bored. People are going to hold on to that money waiting for Harry Potter, and then you're going to say the next Owen game comes out, and they're going to be like, "Dang, that's really freaking good. I'm gonna do that." So I see. I had not had the immediate thought you did, but you have it from a distributor standpoint of this frozen money. One announcement, 2-3 simple sentences on Facebook could immediately freeze. I wonder how many distributors had people
immediately.
pull out.
It did.
Yeah, pull out.
No doubt it did. And this
Yeah.
isn't to say like, oh my God, sky's falling, like we're screwed for the next 2 years while everybody waits. Like, no, it's just right now, as of today. If say you have saved up $10,000, right? And you're a casual, you haven't collected like 10 to 15, you've maybe bought like 2 or 3 pins, right? You're thinking about buying something. You're not quite sure how the industry works in terms of cadence of bringing out a new product or anything like that, right? To market. You're not sure when this game will come out. Well, all of a sudden you're going to wait, most likely, just to get more information. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. It's not to say that those buyers won't jump back in. I'm just saying that there are ramifications to words when they come from credible sources like that, somebody that's been behind getting themes that are big time themes for Stern. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the result of it, unfortunately. But I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world, but let's face facts. It will freeze up money here and now. It doesn't mean it's like
I
that
have
forever.
a serious
but-
question.
Oh, let's do it, Tom.
No joking around here, Tom.
No, you better be serious.
Which movie are they going to pick?
That's what well, here's the deal. If it's a JJP game and Keith is coding it, he's known for just these incredibly deep and complex codes. He could probably fit 7 movies worth of code in one game. But I think it makes sense.
If they could do it, I would not put all movies in the same pen. If they could do it, I would split it up into a trilogy or something like that with each
more
pen.
than one pin.
Come out with a new pin for like
Wow.
one per year or
Could
a
you
3-year time
connect them
span.
and play against?
You can't turn on your second pin until you beat
Be
the
like
first.
NBA fast break.
Yeah. No, I mean, sure, if they have a big license, I mean, that's a whole nother thing with the license. We don't know if it's movies. We don't know if they're getting movie assets. We don't know if it's going to be
It's
movie
all
assets like
speculation
in
at
Pirates
this
of the
point.
Caribbean, where it's just no faces. We don't know if it's if it's new art and going off to the books. We don't know, like I said, if it's the new HBO Max miniseries. We don't know if they're going to be pulling video game assets from the latest Hogwarts game. I don't know. I don't know any of that. But I will say, when I asked, a few years ago, I asked my wife, I said, if you could have any theme in pinball, if I could buy a pinball, Turtles was my dream theme. If I could buy a game strictly for you, what theme would you want me to buy? Without hesitation, Harry Potter. So there were so many people that bought Toy Story because it's Toy Story. Tom bought Rush because it was Rush. It could have been a one pop bumper bit game.
It was the only one.
Yeah, and he was the only person that bought it. Yeah, but he would have. I mean, Harry Potter is an absolute dream theme for so many people, and the price. I mean, if the low end version of the JJP game is $12.5, when Stern got the license for Beatles, they said it was one of the most expensive license. I think it was the most expensive pinball license they've ever paid for, and it was reflected in the price. The price of that game was a lot higher than the other games at the time. I'm telling you right now, unless JJP is just not planning on making money, there's a good chance the price of that game is going to reflect the price of the license.
On theme alone, they would sell out all their CEs in like a second.
Oh, I bet distros already have CE pre-order lists. Like, that's what's funny is reading these comments on Facebook.
100%.
People are like, I've been on a distributor's speculation list for 6 years for a Harry Potter high-end model. I mean, they may already be sold out, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, a pin like that, it would command a high price. I don't see it being any lower than 18.5, and I could see it easily being 20,000 for a CE, and it would sell out, no doubt.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, the truth is, as of right now, it's a huge question mark, but just trying to react to what we've seen posted, there are some people that are happy. They're like, thank God JJP got this. We know it'll be a beautiful game. They'll go all out with art. They're going to have it. It'll be an amazing magical light show. There'll be no hesitation with mechs. Like, this will be an amazing world under glass. And then you have other people and they're like, no, not JJP. I don't want to deal with, like, I don't like the rules. I don't like, I wish Stern would have had it. And it's like, so now all of a sudden you got these JJP versus Stern fanboys arguing who would have done a better job with the code, which is similar to like when Spooky and Stern kind of had their little tiff on Godzilla, and kind of see how that turned out. So I don't know. It's crazy how like 3 sentences can just blow everything up.
If you're a fan of pinball and you're a fan of just sitting back and just getting the popcorn out and just watching it all, I mean, it's a grand old time, because it's fascinating to see how people react to just, like we talked about, one Facebook post, and to see what the fallout would be of that. And it's going to be multifaceted. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. And I am happy though, at least that there's people talking about pinball, and there's people on both sides that are like, I'm for JJP, I'm for Stern, and then there's some of us that are like, oh yeah, we like it all. We try to buy the pinball we can, or play as much pinball as we can, despite whoever's making it. And so, I mean, I think at the end of the day, everybody's going to be happy with the result. I mean, because what other choice do you have? You know what I mean? It's not like somebody's going to get a license and then, give it up to somebody else. I mean, it's like if somebody else makes a Harry Potter pin, it's not going to be for like another 20 plus years, if that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the truth is I think the right answer is all of us should be rooting for JJP to make the best Harry Potter pin possible. Like, there's no reason to be upset about it. I mean, if that's true, there's no reason to be upset about it. Like, I wish this or that, because none of that matters. We are, our opinion.
This is all a farce, and we've all been trolled.
maybe, but it doesn't. Even if we have been, us complaining about X, Y, or Z isn't going to change it. If this is the truth, if this is the directory of how this is going to go, hey, it sounds like there's actually going to be a Harry Potter pinball machine. That sounds great. That's going to be great for pinball in general. That's going to bring new people into pinball for sure. And yeah, let's all root behind JJP to make the best possible Harry Potter pin, period, so that we can all enjoy it in some manner. I do think an interesting question though for both you guys is, there are 3 designers right now at JJP. There's Eric Minier, there's Mark, I don't know his last name. He did the Metroid game. Do you know?
Is it Sidon? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes. He did the Metroid homebrew game. And then there's Steve Ritchie. So Eric obviously just came out with Godfather. Is there any chance that this is the next game coming out? I would be very surprised.
I don't think so.
The question, I mean, we don't know. This could be 4 years down the road. But if what I'm gonna ask you two is, which of those 3 guys would you want? Which, if you could pick the designer, the JJP.
There's 4 people.
There's 3 designers. That's why I was thinking. Out of those 3,
4 designers.
Who's the 4th?
Eric
Minyur, Mark, and Steve Ritchie.
That's it. Oh yeah, Pat Lawler.
Pat Lawler.
Damn it.
He's retired.
Pat's coming out of retirement, everybody.
So I will say, I
Bring
am curious.
back Forky, please.
Do you guys
Harry
care?
Potter.
Do you guys have a preference on who you would prefer to design that game?
I
Yes.
would prefer Eric just because of his experience.
Okay.
But, I mean,
Interesting, Tom.
yeah. I mean, Steve Ritchie's great and everything, but yeah, I'd prefer Eric to do it.
Okay. What about you, Travis?
I would prefer Eric right now, just because he's proven his designs under the JJP platform. Like I don't know. Like obviously, Steve Ritchie designs they've been hit or miss past few years, but overall in his whole entire career, it's a lot more hits than anything else. I'm just curious how the way that he likes designing games. I'm curious how that will carry over with the JJP platform.
Yeah.
So with that unknown variable, it's hard to say, well, I want to see that. But it could be theme too. Like if JJP had Top Gun, I would say I want Steve Ritchie to do it.
Sure.
No doubt. So, if I'm basing it just purely off theme and just thinking that way, I'd like to see Eric have a crack at it.
I agree. I would pick Eric, and it's nothing against Mark. I just haven't seen anything of Mark. Like I've seen Metroid.
Yep.
I've seen Metroid, but it's just like, I don't know about you, but if I was a brand new designer to Pinball, and somebody says, okay, you get the biggest license and the highest demand license right now in all of Pinball. Good luck on your first go.
Pissing my leg is what I'd be doing.
What
do I do?
Yeah, that's the thing with Mark that I have no idea. But if I'm between Steve and Eric, when I think what's going to be best for Harry Potter, what's going to be best for Pinball and bringing people in outside, I would assume amazing toys and mechs is really what needs to be focused on here. And between the two, like that pinball magic between the two, between Steve and Eric has proven that he creates some really unique, new, innovative toys and mechs in pinball. Once again, not discrediting Steve, but if Steve's the king of flow,
right? Exactly. It's different styles. When I think of Steve Ritchie, I think of hard hitting, fast pace, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to something like Harry Potter, I want to know the story. Like I want to feel like I'm immersed in that world. And if you're going to get immersed in a world, like a world, quote unquote, under glass, it's not going to be something that's just completely flow based. You're going to have some stop and go. You're going to have a lot of mechs. You're going to have stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, that's what I view the theme as. Because otherwise we end up something that was like Toy Story, to where it just felt kind of bare, even though there was a couple of cool things in it. But that was one of Toy Story's shortcomings, according to a lot of people. And that's why The Godfather pin, in terms of its layout, has been very well received, because it's much different, to where it tries to create a certain world under there.
Sure. Yeah, and I read a very interesting post, and this is, once again, it's all speculation, but it's somebody said apparently Steve Ritchie's been begging for a Harry Potter pin for years, and he was really pushing that and driving that with Stern, and he was really upset about Led Zeppelin and them pulling mechs out of his game, and so he was sick of being controlled by the bomb. So that's why he reached out to JJP, because clearly they put more in their games. And
now, is that a credible source?
Jack,
or is
this is all speculation. But he's
Just
saying,
pure.
but obviously Jack must have promised him Harry Potter, and so this is Steve leaving. This was probably the main reason why Steve left Stern, is because JJP. I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation.
Okay, remember, everybody, what you just listened to was pure speculation.
Pure speculation. Some dude on
crediting
Facebook.
Joel with the
You
reason why
heard it
Steve
here
Ritchie left
first,
Stern.
everybody.
I could read the post. Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's on the internet, it's fact, right?
It's a fact.
But it's just
Joel said it. It's fact.
I didn't. I mean, I don't know Steve Ritchie at all, but I have no idea if he's a huge Harry Potter fan. But obviously, whoever does
Play
the game,
better, Joel. Joel.
whoever does
Get
the
wand,
game,
Joel.
you would want them to be a big Harry Potter. I agree with you. I absolutely think Eric has the ability to just knock it out of the park, to kill it, just based on the types of games he's done and the way that he's designed games so far. But then again, hey, if how crazy would that be if Steve Ritchie's first game at JJP is actually Harry Potter, even though right now the rumor is it's Elton John, which is very different in the, world
it's
of
not,
world under
it's
glass
not to
category.
say that he couldn't do it.
No,
You know what I mean? Like, because he's been over there now for what, close to a year and a half. So obviously something's
least.
been, baking in the oven for a while. So who knows what he's going to come out with.
I don't know, but Tom, you've had Godfather now for a little bit. I mean, you've had Godfather. You also had Pirates of the Caribbean at one point, and you had GNR.
Had a GNR.
So, I mean, now that you've had all of Eric's games,
He had a Wonka too, but it's not an Eric
Eric's
game.
games.
He didn't have a Toy Story.
Now that he's
Did you
had
have it dialed in?
And
Tom?
I
Now
had,
that he's
I
had
had a
all
Wizard
of-
of Oz. I had it dialed in.
You want to name other games made by designers, not
The
Eric?
only one I didn't
No, we're
have
just
is
talking about Jersey
Toy
Jack.
Story.
He's had all three of Eric's games. So do you? I don't know. I think that says a lot that you.
I like Godfather.
Okay.
I really do.
Both code
That's all I'm
and
gonna
layout,
say.
all of it.
Yeah. The layout's really good.
Have you gotten to the kill screen like Carl does?
No.
On the daily?
I'm not Carl level.
No, not yet. Okay.
Carl
All
level
right.
where you break the
No,
game.
I'm,
So
I'm like, this damn game, and I throw it across the room.
So Tom, you are still playing within the confines that the coders planned for. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Carl's like freaking
world,
Neo
yeah.
breaking out the Matrix.
Exactly.
That's
The
what
world
he
that
is.
the
Here's
coders
Carl.
made. Yeah.
Here's Travis.
Yep.
Here's me, and Joel's on the floor.
Hey, I'm in that world though. I'm in the world. I'm crawling on the floor, but I'm there. Carl's like, "Oh, there's a limit." Nah. Oh, let me find that. He's literally doing math that's blowing up the code. But freaking Carl. Real quick, shout out to Carl. This is a side quest. Shout out to Carl and Pin Quest, man. Pin Clash.
Oh my God.
Pin Clash over the weekend was incredible. I don't know. If anybody streams, you actually realize how hard it is from a technical standpoint to do everything that Carl did. Not only from a technical standpoint of getting a beautiful stream with all the audio, combined video, all that crap, but then to also organize the competition, to keep the players. I mean, it was run so incredibly well. It was so incredibly entertaining, all different levels. I will say, watching the first round, if anybody if this is a big question mark for anybody, Pin Clash is a head-to-head tournament that Carl runs every year virtually. There were people globally. There was a guy in Hawaii competing against people here in America. There was people over in Europe playing. I think there was
Blueberry Johnson.
Yep, there
The
was
winner
somebody.
of the comfy.
I think yeah. There was somebody I think even in Australia. All these people starting up their own streams. He's pulling it all together, doing these head-to-head competitions. It was incredible. And I will say during the first round, I was thinking like, I think I could have possibly won like maybe one of these rounds. Not the whole round, but it's like, I think I could have competed a tiny bit.
Were you drinking that night?
I'm just saying, when the race is like, beat Geigen, I'm like, I can do that. I know how to beat Geigen. I can do that. I would need to be.
Oh, you
like,
could do the challenges. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm
You
saying
had to
like,
qualify to be in this.
I
Joel.
know, but I'm saying if I would have gotten in, I think I would. I don't think I would have just got rolled.
Joel's like one of those guys at the sports bar that's watching the game on TV.
I can throw
slugging
pigskin
down
a
a
quarter
beer.
mile.
If that was me,
Yeah.
I would have totally hit
Coach
that
would have just
ball.
put me in on state.
I could have totally threw that 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
I'm just saying, first round one challenges or tier 1 challenges, I felt like, okay, that's something that I could play there.
I
But
know
once
what
we
you're
got in the
saying here,
second
Joel.
round,
You're talking about that you saw Hottie play and you were like, I could take him.
hey, that's no
You
offense
versus
to Hottie.
That's what
no
you're
offense
saying
to
right
Hottie.
now.
But shout out to
are you
Hottie.
hearing this, Hottie? He's
Hottie-
calling you out.
No, Hottie did admit he had the challenge, which was what was it? It was 2 secret combos or something. Is
I'm
what
not sure. I didn't see.
Well,
the first
it was
round,
one of the
but-
challenges was you had to find 2 secret combos and then do something.
You
And
had
he
to just
admitted
shoot the two
he
secret
admitted
combos?
afterwards,
Yeah.
he goes, I didn't know any of the secret combos. So he was literally just flipping around the playfield hoping to hit a combo.
Oh my god.
But
Okay. We have to do this, Joel.
sure.
You and Hottie, please. We got to make it
Head-to-head?
happen. You guys have your own pin clash. You
For
got
tier one
Godzilla behind
challenges.
you.
Yep.
Yes.
Hottie
We got to
would-
do. We
he'd
got to
be
give
all in.
Joel a shot, right, Tom?
Okay.
I agree.
I don't
Like,
know.
he's
I opened
talking
my
all
mouth.
this
I don't
shit.
know.
He's like, I
It
could have
wasn't-
got out of the first round.
didn't say
I-
could.
I think we should set him
uh,
up with ZMAC.
Yeah, right. I said round one. Round one.
Oh,
round
okay.
one. Round two is when all the people with the buy showed up, and that's
We
the
can
Z
grab
Max and
Neil
the Ray
Graf.
Day.
I mean, he's in
Neil
the house.
killed it. Yeah. But those guys, all of a sudden, I was like, holy cow, these Escher, it's like, okay, these are a little more, this is something else. And then you get to the, like, once you got way further in the competition and they're doing tier 4 battles, and it's just like, holy crap, these people are so freaking good. Like, they don't miss shots, and they know exactly what they have to do and time it perfectly. It's just, it's a whole nother level. And that's no offense. They were top 24 qualifiers. No offense at all to, numbers 24 to 10. But geez, those top few people are on a whole nother level. I mean, it is insane, their ability. So yeah, that was a side
good.
quest.
Those boys
that
are good.
yeah, there was
and Stephanie.
Stephanie was in it as well. Yeah,
Yep.
she did a great job. But I don't know. It was just, what an incredible event to watch. Check out IE Pinball on Twitch. It's there. I guarantee he'll wrap that all up. It'll end up on YouTube. If you haven't seen Pin Clash, go watch it. It is truly an exciting way to watch pinball. So that was a side conversation. But yeah, to wrap up Harry Potter, it's nothing but speculation right now. Kind of. Like I'm saying the truth, or what we think we know.
I thought we were done with Harry Potter. Then all of
I
a
was
sudden
just
we
saying-
just circled right back to it.
Well, it was a side. Or I'm just saying, to wrap it up, it's
I
what
was
we
like,
think
shit,
we
this
know.
whiskey's really strong. I just lost like 3 minutes of time there.
What we think we know is Jersey Jack has the license. When they'll use it, when it comes out, I don't know. What it means, who's doing it, I don't know. None of us know any of that. All we think we know is that Jersey Jack has the license. So my takeaway is, if that's true, that means there is a Harry Potter pinball machine on the horizon, which is exciting for everybody in pinball in general. And no reason to complain and get upset or frustrated that none of that matters. We should all be rooting that they make the best possible game possible, because that's what we all want. So, any other final thoughts on that?
Well said, Joel. That fence is awfully warm.
I would love to throw in a Harry Potter quote. I don't know any of them. I haven't read any of the books. I watched all the movies, but I am so far from a super fan. I got nothing.
Yeah,
I
I
got nothing.
I've watched them. I don't know.
It'll be a wand.
And I
It'll
know
be a
that
wand shooter handle.
Yeah, they made a bunch of books out of the movies too, didn't they?
It's the other. They made books.
I know.
And then they
Joel.
made the movies.
I'm just effing with you.
Dingbat.
But thanks
All
for
right.
correcting me, though. I appreciate it.
I'm here to
Gotta
help
keep me
you.
in line.
Oh, wait.
It's. Oh God, that sound. Jeez.
You're an effing
Okay.
beauty, Tom Graf.
So I'm looking at the to-do list here. Here we go. Real quick, check this baby out. What is that? That is.
Oh shit!
That is an official triple drain lunchbox.
Got a lot of
You can hear
fingerprints.
that?
on it.
Wow.
I know, it's glossy.
You actually had it made.
This is one of the
Real thing.
samples. This is one of the samples. It actually happened. It's a lunchbox. It's everything you'd think. There is no thermos. I will say I'm very happy with how this came out. The print quality's good. It's not exceptional. It's good, but it's not exceptional.
You're selling it well. Good job.
But I'm just being honest as somebody in the printing industry, because this is printed directly on the metal. So they lay down
This
white.
is
and
a
print it on
bunch
there.
of
Yeah, this is garbage. Don't
So
buy it.
where else is it supposed to be printed if it's not printed on the metal?
Well, another way you could do it is print it on like a label and then put the label on the thing.
No,
But
you
then
don't do that.
That
Wouldn't
is
that
a
just be
common
a
thing.
sticker?
It would be
I'm
a
so
sticker,
confused.
but you can have them laminated. They can be like fully waterproof. That is a very common thing.
That's crap.
So
I'm kind of impressed that he's like worked very hard and he
you-
knows everything about a lunchbox right now.
you would be
He has a great
amazed
fallback career
at
ahead
how
of him.
much time I've spent researching freaking lunchboxes.
I'm pretty sure probably
so-
at least 30 hours. As
Not
many
30.
messages as we got about
no.
at
So
least.
there's a whole different bunch of avenues I could have gone, and I was very close to pulling the trigger on actually getting a company that would make us 24, ship them all to me, all that stuff. But luckily, I found a website. The website is Zazzle, and they do a bunch of one-off custom stuff. And so they had lunch boxes. So I had one made, and I do like it. So what I did is I set up an official Triple Drain Zazzle store. We will share the link in the show notes, and we'll post it on our Facebook page. But we have our lunch boxes. We also have the golf towels with the little clip. So for all you tournament players that actually think that's a good idea, you have a chance to buy one, clip it on your belt loop, clean off that pinball machine with the towel, not your t-shirt, and then turn around and flip off both Tom and Travis with your clean hands. It'll be awesome.
I can't wait.
When you pull out your 9-iron and hit it 3 feet from the cup, and you just wipe off your 9-iron with your triple drain towel.
Yeah. Just imagine Joel's wife like wondering where is he at? It's 2 a.m. He's not in bed. And then 11. She goes and checks
he's
out.
He's looking at porn. No, he's researching lunchbox.
She goes to his office and she's like, I'm going to look at his search history. And it's like nothing but lunchboxes. And golf towels.
We also have a small towel if you want to put that in your pocket instead. And then there's a triple drain bottle opener. So, yep. That's how I've spent my time, is finding odd merchandise that we could customize with our logo and the Hydra thing. So,
oh my God.
You're doing great, Joel.
If you go to Zazzle.com and search Triple Drain, you'll find it. Otherwise, you'll find the link. Feel free to buy them. I don't know. And once again, if you get a lunchbox, bring it to
I love how professional Joel is and through all this.
Yeah, get them signed. I'm excited about them. It's so dumb.
No, I am happy that you're happy. I literally am. I'm in tears right now with my camera off.
I'm telling you right now, as of right now, there is a better chance that people will get the Triple Drain lunchbox before they get the GTF lunchbox, and that I just think is hilarious. So, but I will still be buying a GTF lunchbox whenever they're officially released.
I will give you this, Joel. The lunchbox does look pretty dope. Those colors, they look really good.
Thank you. It looks a lot better in your camera.
You did a fine job, Joel.
You did great. Those 2 a.m. sessions really paid off there, buddy.
Yeah. And another promise that I will make to anybody listening, if you go to Zazzle.com, you can there are so many products, like anything you can think of, there are so many products, including if somebody wants a custom pickleball racket, you can get it. What I'm saying is, if somebody...
I am getting a triple drain pickleball racket.
If you want it, that is what I'm telling you. If anybody is watching, all you have to do is email me at tripledrain@gmail.com with the link to the item you want, and I will customize it and add it to our store. So
finally something useful.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Okay, Joel, you convinced me. There is something that's pretty cool there. What about the LED signs?
There are LED. I've looked at them.
So we can actually have like the Triple Drain logo.
You could have a Triple Drain LED sign, $150, but you could have one.
Why aren't we selling those?
I'm just, I've already wasted enough time to get the 4 items that are up there. But I'm telling you, if anybody, for whatever reason, is a big enough fan of this show that you want whatever it is that you see on Zazzle.com, email us at tripledrain@gmail.com. And I will make it happen.
We got socks. We got watches.
We got underwear. We got everything. You want curtains, shower curtain, like bibs. I mean, it's absurd what's on that website. So whatever. I'm all for it, but I'm proud of the lunchbox. And please, if anybody buys one, bring it to a show. And I would love to sign it just because I think that's hysterical that anybody would buy them, whatever. So that's enough of my plug. But yes, we'll share the link.
Travis, are you going to get a lunchbox and bring it to Europe?
He won't get it in time. It took like over a week.
Damn. I could draw the logo on a lunchbox.
One thing that Travis, I think, will be getting in time for Europe. And this was actually Patreon. There was a Patreon question about this. They wanted us to talk about the difference between the comfy, the snuggie, and the huggy. I don't know. Comfy's what you want, but Travis found a new comfy that is an American flag comfy that I hope he buys and takes to. This is a great transition. Where would you take that, Travis? Why would you buy an American flag comfy? Where would you take that and wear that? You would wear that at?
I'm going with Tom Graf to go play in the European Pinball Championships.
The European Pinball Championships.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. They got pinball in Europe. They have internet and everything over there. It's really cool.
So Is this something you just signed up for, or did you have to qualify for it? What's the big deal about the European Pinball Champions? Because you guys are not European.
I mean,
Well,
well,
I mean,
like
you know,
ancestral,
I mean,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, more Tom than me. I'm Native American.
Native
so I don't know.
American,
You know, it's fine. We don't have to get into all that. But no, so it basically you sign up for it. But I think the way that they did it, because it's the week before IFBA, which is the World Championships for, I think it's like the top 80 players in the world or something like that.
Okay.
But they had it to where they wanted the EPC event to be close to IFBA, so that way more of the top American players would play in that. So it'd give everybody an opportunity to get to play against each other. And there's a lot of European players over there as well, obviously, since it's the European Pinball Championships. But no, I think I don't know how many players are in this, Tom. Is it 250 something, or is it
256, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
So the EPC is actually a bigger tournament than the World Championship.
In terms of size,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go off prestige just alone, it's like IFBA is like the main thing, just because you have to be a certain rank that you have to achieve throughout a calendar year in order to qualify for it. But no, EPC is like the main pinball tournament over there for Europe.
And the World Championship, that is for last year then? Was it?
Yeah,
for
it was as of
2022?
December 31st. Yeah.
Of 2022. Okay, got it. So you guys are going over there. Anything particular that we should know? Cool format, cool challenges. What? Get me excited about this. The European Pinball Championship.
So the format
Travis is in Group A1, Bank A.
I'm
That's
literally
top tier.
I'm the first player listed, Joel, which you know what that means.
You're number one.
Exactly. I'm the top ranked player in the whole thing.
That's not true.
No, it's not. I just happen to be the first one listed. But so it's basically heads up qualifying, to where you have 16 people in each group. You'll play everybody once, and then the top 4 from your group will go on to finals. And I believe there's, how many groups are there, Tom? I don't even know.
A lot.
Let me see.
lot,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Hopefully it's not more than
7,
10.
256 divided by 16.
Yeah.
That's when Travis
So
starts to struggle.
Yeah, so 16, right?
16. Okay.
Yeah, because there's
Sounds right.
64 that go on to finals. And I think finals is a heads up also.
So you're excited.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, the way that they're doing it, they have different banks. So like my group is in the A bank. And Tom, what bank do you guys have for yours?
B. I'm in the
B?
B bank.
Okay. So looking at
I'm
the
the
bank.
only American in my group.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Which group are you? B.
D2. I got Vigo's the leader of our group. I got,
joy.
and then I guess
Is Jorgen Schmorgen there?
no.
I would
No.
like shout out to Jorgen Schmorgen.
There is a Pierre and a Lars Orskov.
Did I hear that
Vincent.
Keith?
I can't pronounce these words.
Did I hear that
correctly.
Keith Elwin was traveling? He was coming and
He
participating in
is,
this
but
European.
he's not doing EPC.
He's doing the World Championship though.
Yeah.
Nice. But I'm assuming is like Ray Day going to be there, and Escher and Zach McCarty. Everybody.
Some of the American players in EPC is let's see, John Del Zappo, Brian O'Neill, Stephen Bowden. You got Luke Nahorniak.
Carlos de la Sarda.
Laserlos. Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
You got Tim Sexton. You got Colin. You got Tom. You got Jason Zoller.
Carrie Wing.
Zach
Is
McCarthy.
Monica going?
No, I've got
Oh.
10 days of
Leave her in
Monica
America.
Freeness.
El Rucco.
You're in trouble. Leslie, shout out to
I'm
her.
in trouble. It happens. Yeah, Escher, Bill Mason.
That's
I think
awesome.
Andy Bagwell. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yep.
people. A lot of people.
So it's
there.
really-
Kaylee
it's-
George.
It's you and all your pinball
Derek
friends
Price.
yeah,
flying over and hanging out in Europe for 10
basically.
days.
But
Yeah.
the thing that some of us were talking about too, that we were kind of not worried about, but we were just like,
The
crap,
Jess Sharp
hopefully
game.
we don't end up in the same group, because you're traveling halfway across the world just to play against each other all over again. So I was hoping to be able to play against more of the European players and people that I haven't got to meet yet.
Is,
So that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
Is what's his name? The
Yes,
machine.
what's his name is there.
No, I think it was number 7 in Josh's new rankings. The guy that is
Johannes
insane.
Johannes?
Yeah,
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 he's
yeah.
there. Yep, he's actually in Josh's group I believe. So
Josh is
because
screwed.
Josh was saying he's going to kick his ass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Johannes, cool. So are you gonna like fanboy out and get pictures with him and stuff? Shake his hand, not wash it.
He might charge you $5.
That's exciting. That's cool. And I hope somebody's streaming it. Do we know who's streaming any of this?
Yeah, JDL.
JDL, perfect.
They're like
Unfortunately,
the main European
time
streamer.
zones.
What's that?
The time zones. So that'll be like
It's
early.
only like 8 hours ahead. So, you know, a little bit of time travel involved.
Just a little bit.
No big deal.
All right. Well, that's cool. So EPC, so that's a big tournament, and but then so that's your warm up basically, and then following up with that, you guys have Worlds. So is this
Kind of.
Worlds? The year, don't they alternate? Right? Isn't it America and then Europe? They go back and forth. So Worlds last year was in Florida, right?
Well,
Wasn't
it's
that
America, then international. So it could be in Canada. It could be like in Europe. It could be in Australia.
But last year's Worlds wasn't it in Florida?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. Faraway land known as Florida.
I don't remember particularly, but were those good for you? I don't know. Is Worlds like an intimidating thing? Is that, I mean, that's supposed to be the best of the best, right? Top 80 players in the world.
This would be a Tom answer. This is going to be my first one, but Tom played in last year's.
It's fucking hard. Especially when you don't play good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand.
Well, here's the thing, Joel. You probably actually remember Worlds from last year. You're just forgetting right now. That was the place where Elwin and Escher played against each other.
Yep, and there was the dialed in
Worlds
game at the end. And then you were pissed because wasn't their brand new bar closed? It was like,
you were like, oh. There.
No, that's free play Florida.
I'm mixing up my stuff.
But I am happy that you are well aware of what I was upset about.
The important things,
I appreciate
the
that.
bar being closed. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, yeah, because freaking last call happened 50 minutes before closing time. Who does that?
Yeah. A bar that's now out of business, right? Did it shut down?
I hope so. Yeah, you get what you deserve. Last call 50 minutes before closing time.
Is Carl going? Is Carl going to be there at Worlds?
No. Unfortunately not.
Carl.
He signed up, but then he had to bail out.
Carl.
I know.
That's good for everyone else. That's a better shot. Yeah.
I mean, he had just as a legit shot to win than compared to anybody else.
This is exciting.
He plays excellent.
What's the format of Worlds? Is it a mixture? Kind of, I don't know. There was that whole like the Papa ticket where you have to play one modern, one this, one that. What's the layout here?
So the IFPA Worlds Tournament, it's a match play, and you play groups of 4, each round 3 games, and it's a classic, a mid-tier, and a modern game.
Okay. And have they already released the list of the games?
Yes. You can go to the IFPA website, and you can see the list there.
There's a lot of them. It's like 20 plus banks of 3 games each.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is Foo Fighters there?
I think so.
It might be.
Galactic Tank Force there?
No, but there was for other tournaments, there was a Godfather Pro listed. So I'm excited to see exactly what that is. Yeah. So the weird part about Europe is that they have a lot of reskinned games as well. So they're under different names. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Like 8-Ball is a different name, and it has a spinner at the candy cane.
It was something Stellar, and I was like, "Oh, is it like Stellar Wars?" And it was like,
something.
No, it's not.
It was very confusing. But we didn't go over this. We do have our banks for EPC, because the way that they do that, they give you a list of games that you will play that's in your group, and they're different from everybody else because there's only like 4 groups that can play in the same bank.
So you already know exactly what you should focus on because you know your
so
group.
like EPC, I have Royal Rumble, Getaway, High Speed 2, Aerosmith, Avengers, Shadow, Attack from Mars, Indy 500, Rush, and Last Action Hero. Like literally the best bank in the entire tournament.
You're good at a lot of those games.
I know if I F this up, it's totally on me.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nice. Tom has, what were you, Tom?
I have Bank B, which is Lethal Weapon 3, World Cup Soccer 94, Munsters Pro, Godzilla Pro, Twilight Zone, Fishtails, Congo, Led Zeppelin, and Circus Voltaire.
You're good at a lot
There
of
you
those
go.
games too. So nice.
And there is a
I-
classics
I was
tournament
like, I
with
don't
this
mind
as
that
well.
bank.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a good bank. Now you might like this bank, Joel.
Mm.
They have Tommy, Terminator 2, Iron Man. Does that do anything for you? Jurassic Park Pro, NBA Fast Break,
I like that.
Dirty Harry, Scared Stiff,
No.
Totan,
I mean,
and Start Wars Pro.
Start Wars.
Yeah, I think they mean
I
Star
would-
Wars, but maybe it's a
Why would
reskin
I
too.
like
They
that
just
bank?
added a T in there.
Why would I like that bank?
You wouldn't. That's like by far the worst. bank
yeah,
in the
yeah.
entire
There's a lot of
tournament.
other games there.
So
you
yeah,
did-
pour one out for Bank D participants.
Yeah, bummer. You did mention Rush. People are getting the Rush accessories. There are people getting expression lighting kits.
Oh yeah.
Apparently there is a thing before you plug in your expression lighting kit. Check the node board because apparently there was a bunch of them sent out, and the dip switches on the node board were wrong.
No
So people
way.
are So people
Is
were
it
just plugging
frying
them in.
boards?
I don't.
Or just not working?
It was causing problems. I hope it didn't fry anything, but I have a buddy of mine that got his, and he put out a video and he shared that, and apparently there's a whole post about it. But just a double check. I'm not trying to.
So
but
you're saying that
Swear
you
that
think it's
same
the
guy
dip,
had a topper on his game.
he has his Rush topper as well. Yeah.
so it's a
Fun.
dip switch that's on the node board.
Yes. Shout
Right,
out to
okay.
Balls of Steel. Sterling has his already down in Georgia. He said that was a thing where he had somebody else that got one, and it's like, I don't know. He said it's like whatever dip switch 1 was wrong, 2 was wrong, and 3 and 4 are right or something.
Gotcha.
But
Okay, so PSA, check your dip switch.
double check it, or
Gotcha.
at least ask your distributor. Like, do you know? But it's just, I don't know if it fried anything. But somebody apparently installed them, turned it on, and a whole bunch of stuff didn't work. And they come to find out the dip switches on the node board included in his expression lighting kit was set wrong.
Now, I just hope that the instructions that they give for this are a little bit more clear than the Led Zeppelin expression lights. That was a beast getting those on because you didn't realize that you were supposed to basically get the play field out either. And they didn't really say that until you were like really deep into having wires
Well,
everywhere. So,
Okay, now
watched-
take out the playfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Timmy,
like, what?
Tim Sexton actually made a video. I think it's on Stern's YouTube page that
Did they?
showed installing it, and
Excellent.
they showed
Okay.
it with the playfield out. I think they had
Yeah.
encouraged you to take the playfield out in the video.
Yeah.
But so apparently, expression lighting kits, there are some already out there. I don't know if you happen to be somebody on order. Hopefully, you're getting those soon. And then rush toppers. There are people that already have gotten rush toppers. Unfortunately, Tom, you are not one of them. But I do know, at least in the little video that I saw, it looks really good. Those gears move a lot, and it's just a very animated topper. So
That'll be great for our podcast, and then I can just
Yeah.
have it playing in the background.
yeah, that and your Led Zeppelin topper.
How unique is this situation, though, that they are basically for now, or probably forever, but they're not producing any more rush pins
Yeah.
unless they just suddenly change their mind. Yet the main accessories that everybody has been waiting for are now coming out. And some people that were waiting for these accessories to come out before actually going out and buying a rush, they might be scrambling around
Trying to
kind
find
of
one?
like trying to find one. Yeah. It's like it's interesting that those accessories come out like right at the same time that rushes new in box are getting much more difficult to find.
I would agree. But I will say, from my own selfish standpoint, I'm glad they're getting out because hopefully that's one less thing in the way between me and a Godzilla topper. So I am really, I don't know. I don't want to fall into that thing though of like setting my expectations to be unrealistic, and then whatever the topper is, it's like, I don't know. I hope it should be
It blows fire. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
cool.
Joel.
Yeah.
What's going to come first, the Godzilla topper or the Cactus Canyon SE for you? What do you think?
I hope the topper. I'm trying to be realistic. I have a Cactus Canyon SE Plus on order, and I just assume those aren't going to be made until the LEs are done. And right now, I think there's like 1,250 LEs, and I think I'm seeing they're in like the mid sixes. So it's like we're halfway done with
What about Pulp
Cactus.
Fiction?
Well, like I said, I hope. Apparently, Pulp Fiction is supposed to start. What was it? They said Q3, and they're supposed to have 2 lines going. But either way, I'm just in my head. I'm thinking I'm probably not seeing an SE Plus until the end of the year at the earliest. That's my thought. Which really sucks because I sold Deadpool and I'm like sitting on money, and I don't like that. I would rather have a game.
Buy some lunch boxes.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here real quick is shout out to all our Patreon supporters. Really appreciate you guys. I had posted earlier today that we were recording tonight, and there were some people that commented on that. So a bunch of people had said Harry Potter. Let's talk about Harry Potter. And then somebody had posted, Kaz, he said, I want to hear your opinion on the online battle between the Snuggie, Comfy, and Huggy. Comfy all the way. I don't own the other ones.
1,000%. Not even close. Comfy for life.
But William here said Harry Potter and Matrix rumor. Matrix has been a rumor for a while, but it says it also seems that the Godfather CE production dates keep moving back. Now late June or July. Any news on why? I don't know that. He said, I've also ordered with a deposit a GTF Signature Edition. Yeah, I know I'm crazy. I hear those don't go online till July or August, which seems to contradict their earlier statements. Rumors, thoughts? Any idea why? I mean, obviously, Foo Fighters LEs aren't fully out. Those seem to be pushed back. GTF is getting pushed back. Godfather CEs, that really surprises me that those haven't come out. I haven't heard any particular reasons why. I don't. Any thoughts on? I don't know.
Manufacturing is hard. I mean, that's the bottom line. Getting the materials in and getting it all together at the same time. It's a difficult process. Sometimes it's almost as if you're trying to hit a moving target.
Yeah.
And you get everything in that you can. You get it on the line and you get it out, and you try to go to the next thing. And that's the big difference between Stern and everybody else. That Stern has multiple products that they can fall back on and keep running, different pins, different themes. Whereas these other companies, they may not have that ability. They might have 1 to 2 different themes tops at any given time. So if they don't have the parts in, nothing's coming off the line. That's just what happens, unfortunately. Well, that's just my guess. Manufacturing is just hard.
With GTF being delayed, what I will say is I think it's a good thing. I think the GTFs that have been out in the wild, there have been issues that people have found. And so if that means, hey, let's pump the brakes for a second and address, like those stand-ups in front of the tanks, let's create a hardware fix for those. Maybe we can adjust code or figure out the ball lock was having issues. So you know what? At the end of the day, I know Dave Fix had preached the value of getting games on location and using them as a test run kind of situation. Sure, all these games, there's a bunch of games that have all sold, but if they're using this as valuable data of, hey, we got a bunch of routed games, a bunch of games that were on the show, what do we need to tweak before we get the signature editions out there? I think that's probably a good thing. Godfather, though, I am surprised because there's a lot of distributors that have them in stock. They have LEs sitting on a shelf, and they haven't shipped the first CE yet. That surprises me. I would have thought that have already happened by now. And then the Foo Fighter LEs, I don't have a good answer there. I mean, the fact that they transitioned from making LEs to immediately making some premiums and then coming back to LEs, all I can point to then is whatever game-specific part is different. And at that time, all I can think of is expression lighting or, the green powder coat. Did they run out of Invisiglass? I don't know. It's got to be something with that, right? So I don't know. I don't have a big conspiracy theory or anything behind that.
We should check the forums and go off that.
Yeah.
Go off what they're saying.
And then the last question from the one, the only Josh Roop, he said, I'd like to hear thoughts on the used market prices. I don't know. I think it's interesting. You had made a comment earlier, Travis, about that moving into summer, normally you start to see sales decline. There's a lot of used games on the market, and I think that is a lot of that's because there was a whole bunch of new games announced at the beginning of the year, so a bunch of people are trying to make room for that. But are we going to see prices start to dip down from, I mean, everything went nuts with COVID, but are we ever going to be a point where things start to come back down? And
Supply and demand.
I will say, for my own selfish reasons, I've really thought about buying a Monster Bash. I've really thought about buying a Monster Bash, and to see, I understand CGC games are unique, but like an SE was originally like $7,800. Well, that $8,000-ish game, COVID hits, boom, now it's a $10,000 game. So these games, there's a bunch of them out there that are somewhere in the 10.5 range. But I'm saying, like, hey, can we bring that back down? Can we bring that back down a little bit? But I know demand wise, they're not making any more of them, or maybe if they are, it's going to be years. So I don't know. Is that realistic to think that games might, over the next few months come down? I have no skill in financial forecasting.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think that you would most likely see games that were made in the 90s and early 2000s kind of level off way before you would see games post 2010 level off. That's most likely what you'll see happen. And it just, there's ebbs and flows to it. It definitely depends on all the new games that are coming out. It depends on time of year. Once you get around to Q4, you might see prices like really fluctuate then, because you might have some people trying to hold out and sell something for higher. Then you might have people that are just simply trying to unload something quick. They could turn their money over and they're seeing an easy sell. So it just depends. Like, I ended up having to do that with Toy Story. I think I had it up for like 9,500 and it just sat for a week. Nobody even touched it. As soon as I lowered it down to, I want to say it was like 8,600 or somewhere around there, 8,700. I forget exactly. Like, literally, that's where that was a sweet spot. And everybody's like, okay, I want to go ahead and get it. And that was way less than what I paid for it, because I paid over 12 for it. So, I mean, it just is what it is. It's sometimes you're going to take a wash on a pin, and sometimes it's, sometimes you're going to go up. But for me personally, the way that I like to approach pinball in my personal life is that I don't really worry about what's the resale value going to be. Like, I just worry about, do I want to play this pin now? Do I think I'm going to have fun with it? And do I think I'm going to get the value and the utility out of it that I want to? And I think if people approach it like that without worrying too much, I think you'll have a lot more fun overall. But I do understand why some people are very, very aware of the cost and very aware of the price, and they want to not, it's almost like a game for some people and a challenge to where they don't want to lose money necessarily, and they want to keep building up, which is understandable too. But I think if you're in like your position, Joel, because we were talking about this earlier, if you're just on that fence and going both ways and you're like, I'm not sure if I should get this because it might lose, I would encourage people just to make the assumption that you are going to lose money on your purchase. But go into it knowing that you're going to have fun. And if you decide that you want to sell or trade the game later on and you break even, fantastic.
Yeah, that's probably a healthy way to approach it. But it is weird. It's weird having, I mean, maybe it brings us back to the initial conversation where you're like, okay, if I have this money that I'm saving for Harry Potter, do I just sit on it for the next few years? Or do I play with that money, play other games, knowing that none of these games are keepers, and they're going, as soon as Harry Potter's announced, I'm selling this so that I'll have my funds ready for Harry Potter's. I mean, that's where I'm at with Cactus Canyon. I'm in, but I know I got a long time before I get one. So sure, if somebody listening to this is anywhere near Indiana that's wants to sell me a Monster Bash for somewhere in the $9,000 range, I'd probably take you up on it. But
I mean, once you
So,
once you think about it, I mean, you got to kind of, if you really want to get into the weeds about it, you want to think about, okay, if I have to travel somewhere, how much, is that going to cost for gas? Am I going to buy food while I'm out? How much is coin drop? I mean, those are all things to consider. Like, what's your time worth? Because it might take you 20 minutes to go, drive. Like, we talked about this before. Like, there's a Godfather that's about 25 minutes from where I live, but the coin drop is $2. Now, granted, considering how much that pin's actually worth, that's really not that much. But when I'm thinking, okay, I could drop $40 coin drop on it, but yeah, I'm going to have to take like an hour drive basically all the way around. It's like, that's just kind of the way that I think of things also. Like, what's my opportunity cost by having to travel, by having to do coin drop? And, if you think about, if you're going to play it 2,000 plus times.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been over $1,000 in coin drop for you, most likely.
Yep. I get it. I don't know.
I say just get a pin, Joel.
I know.
Just get a pin. Like, why do you need a Monster Bash though? You got 3 bangers right behind you.
That's a good
Why
point.
can't you just play those?
It's a
Why
good
can't
point.
you just be happy with your Bond 60, Joel?
It is a pretty great game. And I will say TNA is back in the house, which I love. I love that that's back. And Foo Fighters has been just an absolute blast. I will say one of the issues I have right now, though, is and I meant to bring this up at that last episode. I took some of the money that I made selling Deadpool, and I did what I would consider a smart decision for my family. And I'm trying to share this as an encouraging thing because this was hard for me to do. I bought a golf cart. I bought a golf cart. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I remember back to when Ken Cromwell was doing the Slam Tilt. No, I think it was Slam, whatever it was. His podcast.
Special When Lit?
Special When Lit. That's it. And he had said he sold one of his games so that he could finish. I think he bought a hot tub and like finish an area for his family. And he said, it's really hard for me to give up something that I know I like for the better of my family or the betterment of my family. But this was a smart decision for me and my family. And I remember when I heard that years ago, I felt bad for the guy. I was like, well, that sucks, but it's probably the right choice. And I will tell you, I sold Deadpool. I had this wad of cash. I told Nicole, my wife, I was going to buy another pin with it. Or I was thinking between this and this and this. And she goes, why? Or you could use that money and you could buy the family a golf cart. And I'm like, okay, it's probably like, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, I do think I made the right
Thanks,
choice.
Debbie Downer.
I know. I do think I made the right choice. I will tell you, having a golf cart, it is a ton of fun. And my family is truly enjoying it. And seeing them enjoy it is really cool. So all I'm saying, and maybe this is like a support system, but I'm just telling you, for all the pinball owners out there, if you're in a position, making a smart financial choice for your family does pay off. So I don't know. Travis is raising his hand. Maybe
I
this
have
is
questions.
You have questions.
Okay. Obviously, you drive a golf cart around, but I'm curious, like, what do you guys do with the golf cart?
We
You just roll around in circles, and you guys are just
wait
getting
and laugh
fun,
the
like,
whole time. Just
driving around?
No, we have a Kroger, which is a supermarket right next door. We have 2 parks we can drive to, a splash pad. We have a McDonald's, a
You
CVS.
drive the golf cart to the grocery store.
Yep.
Do you
And
go
then you
through
dri-
the drive-through?
I have gone through the drive-through multiple times.
You're that
They're
guy.
like, here comes that guy again.
It's so great. But I'm telling you, the neighborhood I'm in, and I'm not in a golf
You
community.
need to get that lunchbox. Use that as a hood ornament. That'd be badass.
I'm telling you, the
that
whole
creepy
town,
pinball guy's back.
the whole town next to us is like a golf cart.
Yeah.
All the neighborhoods are connected in a way that you could all get to golf courses. It's not like we're in a ritzy area. It's just a thing that there are a lot of golf carts in our neighborhood, and I will say the weather's really gotten nice.
A lot of poor neighborhoods all roll around in golf carts for sure.
There's a lot of the weather's been really nice. So to throw the kids, we have seats in the back, so the kids and my wife, the 4 of us just drive around the neighborhood.
You
for
have a
15
sound
minutes.
system?
We have a speaker in it. Yeah.
I knew it.
We bought
guys
it
have,
used, and we bought it.
Oh, of course,
from
who
another
would buy it
person.
brand new.
We bought it from a person here in the neighborhood. So I literally walked over to their house and
I
drove
was
it
about to
home.
say, how did that go?
Yeah.
Did he slap the side of
Joe
it?
walks
Yeah.
over flashing cash.
Yeah.
The guy's like, sucker.
Yeah. I drove over, checked it
Probably
all out.
Talks to his neighbor. Hey, you see, I just sold a lemon to that big ogre over
Yeah.
there with the beers.
The big ogre. Wow. Yeah. Maybe that's the one thing where it's like this thing falls apart. I know where the dude lives. He's not far.
Do you have like the Fast and the Furious type rims on it?
No,
Everything?
it's a pretty standard golf cart. It's
You don't
red.
have you don't have LED lights on the bottom or anything like that?
You'll appreciate no LED. I tell you, I've had it like 2 weeks. So
Damn, you gotta trick this bad boy out.
I told my kids I have a 3-year-old and a 4.5-year-old. My daughter's 4.5, and I was walking them over when I went to pick it up, and I was like, guys, Daddy bought a golf cart. They're like, oh, cool, and because they've seen them driving around, and I was like, guess what color it is? And they both guessed blue, and I was like, no, it's red. And they're like, well, can we get a blue one? I was like, no, guys, it's red. So we get in the golf cart, and I'm driving it home, and I was like, all right, guys, so what we should give it a nickname. What should we name it? And my daughter goes, Blue Star. It's like, it's a red golf cart. It's a red.
You gotta put a blue star on it.
It's a red golf cart. So I'm trying to remember. She said Blue Star. I thought she said Blue Spark. But either way, I don't know. We just got to lean into it at this point. And no, my daughter's not colorblind. So
I'm surprised you just haven't put like the Triple Drain logo on there yet.
You know,
Like I
I'll
figured at
check
this
out
point,
Zazzle and see if
I
I
was
can
about to
get a
say,
big
you
old
probably would
decal.
get like a magnet decal on there.
Slap that on the front of it. I don't know why I brought it up. I'm just saying, I know this is a great hobby. This is a fun hobby, but I know it's an expensive hobby. And there's no shame in selling a pin to do something for the betterment of your family. And luckily, Tom and Travis both have families that like pinball and play their pinball machines. So buying a new pinball machine for them is actually a fun thing for their family.
Hey,
unless you sell their favorite pinball machine and
I was about
the
to
twins
say.
haven't talked to you in 2 weeks. So
Dude, it's been horrible. They're
Daddy,
still well aware because there's
where's
just a
Toy
big,
Story?
There's a big empty spot back there. My daughter asked me literally just 2 days ago when it's coming back. But she just thinks it's like somewhere else and it's coming back at some point.
Daddy, where's
I'll talk to her. You know, there's a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
All right.
So there's always that.
It's
Well,
okay.
Yes,
I'll
Santa.
find another pen to replace it with. I don't know what. I don't know what yet, but something's going to come along. I'm going to throw a pin.
That's a kid-friendly
area.
theme for children.
Heavy metal.
Get her a Halloween.
Yeah, that might work. I don't know. Well, I guess there's a Scooby Doo. I mean, that's kid friendly
Ruh-roh.
ish,
Yeah,
right?
that'll last.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know of a kid-friendly game that would stay in your collection that, I don't know. For all the reasons you sold Toy Story, you're going to run into the same thing with a lot of the other kid-friendly
Yeah,
games.
I mean, it happens. Like you play, if you have several pins in your collection, what I tend to do, I bounce back and forth from everything. So for when I got done with TPF, I didn't even touch my Godzilla until maybe last week.
Mm.
And so I barely even played it. And I was just playing Stranger Things the entire time. So now recently I've been playing Godzilla and then switching over to Rush since I finally got that fixed. I just been bouncing back and forth between those two. And then I started playing our Stern Pirates again after not playing it for over a year because my kid started talking a lot of trash and I had to put him in his place. So there you go.
All right. Well done, Travis. That's all I have. I knew we wanted to squeeze in an episode here because we thought it was important news, and then we knew we were going to be kind of radio silent for probably the next 2 weeks. But we'll probably have a lot to talk about in the next episode. So yeah, we should probably plug it up. And
Well, we have a big thing to plug that we said we were going to wait till the end of the episode,
which is Tom and
Tom.
Fox Cities Pinball, everyone. For those of you that don't know, for you to become a Twitch partner, there are 3 requirements you have to have, and they deal with the number of days you stream.
Hot tubs.
Yeah.
And hot tubs.
Sex appeal. No. The number of days you stream, the number of average viewers you have, and then the number of, what is it?
Days.
Hours? It's days.
Days and
average
hours.
viewers. Yeah.
So you need 12 days, 25 hours, 75 viewers average.
Yeah.
Average.
So the problem is, Tom crushes it when he streams his tournaments. He kills it there. The challenge is when he does solo streams, it's hard within pinball to keep 75 average viewers. It's a challenge to do. So what I would say is if you see Tom in Fox Cities Pinball streaming, do yourself a favor, watch it. And even if you can't watch right there, just pull up the browser and let her fly.
Go eat a sandwich.
So Tom, do you know when you're because you've been streaming a lot, you've technically hit the metrics, but you have to stream a few more times before you can apply again. So do you know when you're streaming again?
Yeah, so I have a lot of stuff planned this week, which, depending on when the podcast gets released.
We're recording this Monday, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah.
So tomorrow night I'm doing Pin Skins, which is an objective it's a pin golf tournament based on objectives.
Nice.
And it's just 4 of us. It's Eric Thorne, Neil, Matt McCarty, and myself.
Nice.
So we're gonna take each other's money, and we're each putting $5 per hole. I know, big spenders, right? But just
it adds up.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does. And Neil needs to go to college, so. No, just kidding. But and then on Friday I've been doing Flippin' Fridays for about a month, and at District 82, and and so I'll be streaming that, and that is going to have a lot of people because the next day I'm streaming the Ladies Flip Wisconsin, and there's over I think there's like 55, 60 ladies signed up for it. So big tournaments, 2 tournaments, all pretty much all day long Saturday at 9 a.m. And then I'm going to Lumberjack Johnny's on Sunday, and I'm streaming their knockout tournament.
Nice.
So a lot of tournaments planned.
Yeah. So Tom's putting in work. But yeah, definitely if you can support them. And the perks with being partnered deal with some of your upload bit rate. You also
the
I think
stream
your
quality
stream
goes
quality's
way
everything's
up.
yeah.
So yeah, I implore people, if you're listening to this or watching this, like help Tom out as much as possible, because I know he won't brag on himself, but he works his ass off completely. I've seen it behind the scenes. I've seen it in person. I've seen it at his house. I've seen him set up. It's amazing the things he does. And this right here, it would help out Tournament Pinball incredibly if we could have another partnered streamer that streams Tournament Pinball, because obviously Carl reached that and he's able to cover that. And so having more coverage for this, it just expands the game of pinball even more. It expands the hobby even more. So it's so damn important.
That's why I'm doing it. And I actually told Dave Ovshevsky, who's one of our Patreon supporters, that I said to him, if I reach partner, he wants to do a Bond 60th heads up, and he has one and I have one. So
yeah, that could be really cool.
I would show up for that. That would be fun.
That would be really cool.
So I said, if that happens, I will drag my game to Lumberjack Johnny's and we will stream it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and the truth is, Tom has met the credentials before. He's applied before, and really, what it comes down to is they want to see consistency. They want to see consistency.
Slam the door right in your face.
The Twitch overlord.
That's why we're making a push here. We're making a push. So
yeah, like definitely, it works if you get on the stream and you just keep a browser up all weekend. Like just do it for one weekend. Support as much as you can. There's a lot of people in pinball that work their asses off, and something like this would definitely help out tremendously. Pinball in general, it'd help out Tom, and he deserves it. He's earned it. He's worked his ass off for it. So I would really like to see the community turn out and help get us past the finish line on this bad boy.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to plug, Tom?
No, that's good enough.
Cool. Travis, plug away, man.
Yeah, you need to go watch Fox City's Pinball on Twitch. And that's all I got. Just be sure and be there. I'm telling you, do it. You'll be happy. And yeah, other than that, Joel, all you.
I want to plug Fox City's Pinball on Twitch. Definitely a good time there. And then I stream every Wednesday night on the Flippin' Out channel on YouTube. I'm not streaming this week or next week because I'm traveling for business. But 2 weeks ago, my brother and I streamed Foo Fighters, and Ray Day was on with us, and it was a blast having him explain the rules even more, and being able to ask him questions in real time. And he explained a bunch of the little things that I hadn't caught on my own. So that video is online. You can go to the Flippin' Out channel and click on the live tab, and you'll see that video, which was a ton of fun. But yeah, check that out. Check out our merch on Silverball Swag. Check out the new stuff on Zazzle. We'll post that. Zazzle. We'll post the link to that. And then Patreon. Thank you for all the Patreon supporters. We really, really appreciate you guys and the support you've been giving us. But that's it. That's all I got. Like always, Tom, you've got the last words.
I love you all.